everyone. I, Archisha Bhagat from Kamal Convent Senior Secondary School, BHL Bhopal, Class 8E.
Hello everyone, my name is Siddhi Mishra and I'm from class 8th.
We are here to relate a few maths concepts with the traditional art of Manipur and Nagaland.
So here I, Siddhi Mishra, commence with my presentation. Maths Art Integration, relating maths concepts to the traditional art forms of Nagaland. Nagaland, the land of festivals. Nagaland is a state of India which lies in the hills and mountains of the northeastern part of the country. It's one of the seven sisters of India. It boasts nature, lakes, rivers, waterfalls, accessible mountain peaks and valleys. It's a tourist-friendly place in northeast India. With a whopping number of different tribes and the cultural diversity this place brings, there's no wonder in the fact that Nagaland is famous as the land of festivals. With each tribe practicing its own rituals and traditions, Nagaland is a state that has one major festival lined up for all months of an year. Symmetry. Symmetry is defined as a balanced and proportionate similarity that is found in two halves of an object. It means one half is the mirror image of the other half. The imaginary line or axis along which you can fold a figure to obtain the symmetrical half is called the line of symmetry. If an object is symmetrical, it means that it's equal on both the sides. Symmetry in weaving. Symmetry is an important part of textile art in patterns and motifs that decorate fabrics, which are made by the interlacement of warp and wefts. Symmetry in clothes and fabrics often make them look more attractive. Hereby, we understand the concept of symmetry through the traditional weaving of Nagaland. Second, geometry and measurements. Geometry is a branch of mathematics that studies the sizes, shapes, positions, angles, and dimensions of things. It's concerned with the properties and relations of points, lines, surfaces, solids, etc. Flat shapes like squares, circles, and triangles are a part of flat geometry and are called 2D shapes. These shapes have only two dimensions, the length and the breadth. Measurement is important because it helps us to quantify the world around us. Time, size, distance, speed, direction, weight, volume, temperature, pressure, force, sound, light, energy, etc. are among the physical properties for which humans have developed accurate measurements, without which we could not live our normal daily lives. Measurement permeates every aspect of human life. Measurement and geometry are inextricably related. When we measure, we are measuring two-dimensional shapes and three-dimensional objects. The properties of the shapes and objects dictate how they are measured. We use multiple units to measure volume and capacity, then identify the best. Geometry and measurements in wood carving. Wood carving is also related to maths. This relationship becomes more evident in the sculpture developed in the 20th century and at present time. Mathematical sculpture makes use of concepts relative to many mathematical fields like geometry, algebra, topology, logic, etc. Sculptures for which the use of maths becomes essential in their conception, design, development, or execution will belong to this typology. Some sculptures explicitly show their mathematical nature. A clear example could be a work based on the figure of a polyhedron or other specific geometrical shapes. However, in other works, mathematics can be present in a hidden way, in which the mathematical conception is implicit in the design. Along with the figures of geometry, as we all know, measurements also play a vital role in wood carvings. In order to incise the wood perfectly, we need to use accurate measurements. Thus, we understand the concept of geometry and measurements through the traditional wood carvings of Nagaland. Thank you.
Now, I, Archisha Bhagat, begin my presentation. Art integration. Maths through the traditional art of Manipur. Manipur, jewel of India. Manipur is a state rich in tradition, culture, and authenticity. It is famous for its natural beauty and mouth-watering cuisines. Manipur is also known as a peace-loving state with the most welcoming people. Maths in traditional art of Manipur. Now we are going to learn some of the maths concepts with the help of traditional art of Manipur. Frequency and tally marks. The number of times a particular measure is repeated is known as its frequency. Tally marks, they are also called hash marks and are a form of numerals used for counting. Below given are the tally marks used for numbers 1 to 10. Traditional dolls of Manipur. Laifadevi. Laifadevi, also known as Lai Devi, are the handmade cloth dolls of Manipur. Lai Fadibi is a word for doll where Lai means God, Fadi means piece of cloth, and B means feminine gender. Now we are going to understand tally marks and frequency with the help of Lai Fadibi dolls. How can we use it? Above written are the number of Lai Fadibi dolls sold by a shopkeeper of Manipur in 32 days. Now we have to construct a frequency table using tally marks. So for the frequency table would be constructed as given below. Over here, for 1, the tally mark shows 4, that means the frequency is 4, and on 4 days only one doll has been sold. Same has to be done for 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 also. After we have all the frequencies written, we will calculate the sum. If we get the sum as 32, which is same as the number of days, that means that our frequency table is correct. Ratio. Ratio is a comparison between two quantities. Ratio of A to B can be where B is not equal to 0. It can be written as in three following ways: A upon B, A is to B, or A to B. A ratio has no unit and is always written in simplest form. To find ratio between two quantities, the unit of the two quantities should always be the same. Percentage. The word percent stands for divided by 100 or hundredth. Thus 9% is another way of writing 9 upon 100 or 0.09. Similarly, 100% is equal to 100 upon 100, which is equal to 1. 120% is equal to 120 upon 100, which gives us 6 upon 5. Now, percentage increase and decrease. Percent change is an increase or decrease given as percent of the original amount. Formula for percent increase is amount of increase upon original amount into 100%, and formula for percent decrease is amount of decrease upon original amount into 100%. Now we are going to learn and how to use ratio and percent increase decrease with the help of traditional dance academy of Manipur. So here we start. A traditional dance academy of Manipur had a strength of 96 students in 2018, in which 52 were girls and 44 were boys. In 2019, the same academy had the strength of 104 students, in which 74 were girls and 30 were boys. So now we will answer a few questions about ratio, percent increase and decrease. So here we begin. Ratio between number of girls to boys in 2018. So number of girls were 52 and number of boys were 44. So first you have to simplify 52 upon 44, which gives us 13 upon 11. So 13 upon 11 is the ratio. So it will be written as 13 is to 11. Now question 2. Percent decrease in number of boys in 2018 to 2019. So the formula for percent decrease is number of boys decreased upon original number of boys into 100%. So 44 minus 30, which gives us 14, is the number of boys decreased original number of boys were 44 and into 100%. So we get the answer as 31.81%. Question 3. Percentage increase in number of students in 2018 to 2019. So the formula for percent increase is number of students increased upon original number of students into 100%. So 104 minus 96, which gives us 8, is the number of students increased, and original number of students were 104 into 100%. So it gives us the answer as 7.69. Thank you. Hope you all enjoyed.